Welcome to Built to Last. I'm your host, Eric Schwarze. This show is all about what it really takes to build quality homes, strong communities, and lasting relationships. Today we're talking about something that's quite literally behind the scenes, insulation. And to help us unpack it all is April Tallman, a true expert in the insulation and building performance. April, thanks for joining us today.
Of course, Eric. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I'm excited to talk a little bit about insulation with y'all.
Well, great. Let's just get right in it. So let's start with something real simple. Why? Why do we insulate homes?
Energy efficiency. That's a huge thing, as well as just wanting to make sure your home is warm when you want it and cold when you want it.
That's a real simple answer to
Easy
a real
enough.
simple question.
Right?
We want to keep the hot or the cold in and the hot or the cold out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how do we do that? What are typically the most common types of insulation that we might see used in homes here in North Texas?
So one is like batt insulation. So it could be fiberglass. It could be mineral wool. That can go in the walls, exterior walls. It can go in the ceiling area, as well as it can go in sound walls. There's also, you have fiberglass blown insulation, or cellulose. You can do that as well. It's a little bit older model, but still used today. The fiberglass blown will go in the ceiling. You can also do a different option is what they call the bib system. And that's a blown feature, netted feature into the walls. Or the other thing is open cell, closed cell, spray foam. So those are probably the three categories that I would say is the most commonly used insulation.
So by Batt, that's the big rolls of pink stuff that makes you all itchy.
Yeah.
And then cellulose, that's actually like ground up newspaper type product or something.
Yeah, it's a recycled material. And it's kind of a combination of a few things, but it looks kind of almost, sometimes people say it looks like dirty cat litter. So
I've seen it before.
Yeah.
It's been a few years. I don't think that's as popular nowadays as it was a few years back.
It's really not. I probably have not used it at all in the, almost 4 years I've been in insulation. So I would say that there is just something a little bit older use, but there is still some builders that work with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk a little bit about each one of those and their uses. Mm-hmm. You said batt insulation, and you mentioned sound deadening, and I know we talked about this before, and we use that at Maykus for our sound deadening.
Yes, yeah, like in your sound walls. So sound walls can be also called as like wet walls, which is like your bathrooms, your utility rooms, around those walls there. Sometimes too, you can even add it around like media rooms, studies, maybe a bedroom wall that's common to living room. So stuff like that.
Very good. And then we talked about the blown-in type, which we're not really using. Now, we at Maykus, we do the spray foam. Why is that such a superior product?
The blown-in is, it's a great product to use. Like I said, you can use it in a couple of different ways. But it's just something that goes in on the ceiling, or like I said, the bib system for the walls. But it's something that just goes hand in hand with the batt insulation.
Okay. And then the foam?
Mm-hmm.
How is it superior to, it's a level up basically, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. The spray foam, whether you're using open cell or closed cell, both of those are an air barrier. And that right there takes a lot of, just really truly the air sealing properties that are used for batt insulation and when you use blown insulation. So that there's just a flat, covers the cavities, covers the roof lines, and it's truly just a great product to use for air sealing purposes.
We actually use the term encapsulation.
Correct.
Because it basically encapsulates the
Yes.
entire living space.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, some things that a lot of our homeowners are going to hear when they're talking about construction or buying a home or thinking about the buying process and the insulation, and that's the R value. What is the R value of insulation?
So it's just resistance to heat flow. Really, that is a thing that is talked with energy codes and something that we work with hand in hand every day, trying to know exactly what is needed for the home and the roof line and in the exterior walls. It varies just depending upon what city you're in, what area you're in, whether you're in a different state. It all varies.
So you're going to have different insulation then on the roof than you do in the walls.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. You do.
More heat loss through the roof.
Normally, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, What are some of the mistakes that you see when people or builders insulate their homes?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, everything goes hand in hand with each other, like your mechanicals, your HVAC, your windows, your doors. And sometimes people don't take that into account. And that is the biggest thing that I work with my builders. I work with people and educating them that it's a system. It's one big system that all works together. And sometimes a lot of people just don't know that, don't realize that. And so I really like being able to be that valued resource, to be able to go and have those conversations and talk to the builders like that.
That's a very good point. And other of our vendors and people who have visited with us have talked about the whole home system. Mm-hmm. You can insulate it, great. If you put lousy windows in it and a lousy air conditioning and heating system, you're still going to have some challenges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good. Well, April, if we got someone who's considering remodeling their home and they're going to add on, or perhaps someone is thinking about building a home with Maykus, what are some things that they should think about?
I mean, really the biggest thing is their overall goal. What are they trying to achieve? What are they wanting to get out of the home really, and what they're putting in the home? So that's the biggest thing I would say. Two, it's the accessibility. If you're adding on, a room or you're adding on space or whatnot, that the biggest thing too is making sure everyone can access it. But as in regards to your subcontractor side of things, the other thing too is, like I said, is just overall goal of the home. That's a big thing.
Very good. Well, what is new coming up? I know that things are always changing. It seems like every year there's going to be a new air conditioning system, coolant, a new refrigerant or something. What in the industry do you see coming up?
I mean, there's not a whole lot of change in the industry. I think it's the biggest thing is what we're trying to evolve with is the energy codes, always staying up with the energy codes and what's coming out, what's changing. The biggest thing though, that has kind of stand true to time is the spray foam insulation, open cell, closed cell. That's a big thing that has just been kind of a game changer overall for insulation. And it's sticking around. It's not going anywhere. And I think that's here to stay for a while.
I'm going to backtrack a minute and throw you a curveball.
Okay.
You've mentioned open cell and closed cell a couple of times. What's the difference and why?
So closed cell is more of a dense structure of a foam. And so it actually provides a structural barrier as well as a vapor barrier. So a lot of times too, people will use those like in metal buildings, or they'll use it in like crawl spaces. It just depends on the application. Kind of the same thing as overall achieving the goal. What are you looking for? And then the open cell is your air barrier. Closed cell is as well as an air barrier, but open cell really has that air barrier purposes and it works well in a standard home, against OSB. It's a great option for air sealing your home and insulating it.
Well, thank you, April. We certainly appreciate you joining us today.
Of course. Thank you.
Appreciate your insights into industry and you taking care of us at Maykus Home.
Of course. Anytime.
And we appreciate all of you out there listening or watching, joining us for another episode of Built to Last with Maykus Homes. Be sure and follow us on YouTube or wherever else you choose to listen to or watch your podcasts. And if you'd like to come see our homes and walk through and maybe come see the cool spray foam insulation expanding, give us a call at 817-308-1155. We'll be glad to take you around and show you. This is Eric at Maykus. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.